Also, this ring light is like every time I look down, I just see like rings on the book. It's making it really hard to read. Um, but hopefully the lighting looks good. Um, Hello, my lovely little mourning doves. Welcome back to my channel. So as I hinted in my last video, this video has to do with another YouTuber. Another alternative gothic YouTuber, Dorian from Of Herbs and Altars. So I've been watching Dorian for a very long time, years. Shush phone, not now. Yeah, sorry, as I said, I've been watching Dorian for years, and I have really enjoyed his channel. I love all of the DIY stuff that he does. His makeup is always amazing, and anyone who watches knows that he is a very creative person, especially in terms of writing. He's a writer. And recently, he wrote a book. So this is Dorian's book, The Putrescent Vein. I actually got a signed copy, so here's, I don't know, can you see that on the camera, or is it like super overexposed? Maybe you can, there we go. So this is my signed copy. I was really excited that he had put out a book. Let's see if I can get this one in. Oh, so cute. So cute. So yeah, so he drew in it. But yes, I've been very excited to read his book. I actually am one of the people who I've not really read his blog posts, so I hadn't really had any experience with his writing before. I just knew that I really liked him as a person and that I think he has a really great sense of humor and is just very entertaining and imaginative. So I was really looking forward to getting it. This book was very different than anything I've read in a really long time, and I think in a great way, but I will also say very strongly that this is not for everyone. I could definitely see how this would disgust some people, it might anger some people, yeah, which is, to me, what makes it so great. I think that is something that is a huge strong suit for it, but I could definitely see how this is not for everyone. So first and foremost, I'm just going to read you the back cover, the little synopsis kind of thing about the book, just to give you an idea, kind of in the words of Dorian himself, what this book is about. Tumble into a world of dark, homoerotic porno gore, shot through with moments of pure chemical transcendence. Meet gay vampires horrified by the vulgar, futuristic trash world their coffin opens into, while another wannabe immortal is fueling his DNA with the copious... While another wannabe immortal is fueling his DNA with the copious ejaculate of strangers. Over in Hollywood, Dorian Gray is as young and beautiful as ever, let loose in the 21st century, where the party never stops and the debauchery often kills. Span endless centuries alongside an opium-addled immortal trudging bitterly down the crushing path of the war on drugs. Finally, reach your destination at the lucky number 13, take a deep breath, and call out to the vampire who truly exists. So basically I'm just going to talk about a few of my favorite stories, talk about Dorian's writing style, and kind of why I absolutely adored this book, but also why it's really not for everyone. So when Dorian says homoerotic porno gore, that is the best way to describe this book. It is very homoerotic, which is awesome, like, love it, but in a way that is, I mean, it is very pornographic. This book is very adult and very descriptive, I guess, is a nice way to put it. Very vivid imagery. So there is, you know, an entire short story on someone who has romantic love for cars and sexual love for cars, again with full detail going into sex acts and things. There's a lot of sexual content between humans and vampires and vampires and vampires and people in cars and just lots of stuff. It is a very adult book. I think the second short story in this book is probably one of the most disgusting to me. Um, but again, it's kind of like when you're looking at a car crash, or for someone like me who's a very morbid person, where, you know, most people, like, you don't want to look at, like, the disgusting things, you don't want to read about the disgusting things. I really enjoy it. I love, you know, seeing, you know, the horrifying, grotesque, nasty things that most people would avoid. And the second story in this book, I think, is one of the most kind of disgusting, even to me. There's just the use of words is so brilliant, and I give so much credit to Dorian. Just, oh God, I mean, I'm kind of skimming it right now and just reading. The person narrating this story, specifically in Fetus, describes himself as a soft flesh sack of slippery fluids ready to rupture at any moment. A thin covering of supple skin containing blood, pus, vomit, shit, and piss, as messy and unappealing as an egg, as a dropped egg when splattered across the pavement. I mean, if that's not just a great description of humanity, I don't know what is. But Fetus goes on to show this person trying to collect the souls of others, the essence of others, through their bodily fluids or just pieces of them, taking toenail clippings out of a trash can and eating them, eating ejaculate, and using that as a way to take into him the essence of another person, and then being horrified and thinking, well, if somebody were to take his essence, so to speak, then they would have a piece of him, and so trying to protect that and to keep that to himself, and it all kind of culminates in this very graphic act of erotic cannibalism that is just, it was cringy to read, but at the same time just so effective. I don't really know how else to put it. But yeah, so Fetus was definitely, I think, to me, the most disgusting story in the book, but also one that I could not stop reading. Like, it was the car crash effect. Like, I couldn't stop reading it, even though I was like, ew. Like, it was just, it was cringy and gross, and I loved every minute of it, kind of thing. You know? Do you know what I'm saying? Gemini, The Decadent Life of Dorian Gray is another of my favorite stories in this compilation. It's a very interesting twist on the original character. It's Dorian in the 21st century being, you know, as over the top as ever, but having a twin brother, and the dynamic between them, and the fact that, you know, there is no painting in this story, in this version. It's very interesting, the connection that they have, and the ending was amazing. I really loved the way that one ended. So that was really, really good. It's been a little while since I've read this. I read this earlier in the summer. I've been doing about a book a week this summer. I've been really on a reading kick. So I can't really say for all of them. It's definitely something that I want to read again. But the final story, which is called Final Words from a Demon, was probably my favorite. And this one was written completely by Eden. And if you don't watch Dorian on his channel of Herbs and Altars, then you probably won't really know what I'm talking about. But Eden is a character that Dorian has talked about a lot. He has this whole kind of menagerie of vampire characters that do write for him, that they write some of his songs. They are very much this very tangible part of his life, it seems. He talks of them as though they are, you know, physical beings that are right there, that are, you know, they're the ones writing. And so this last story in the book is completely written by Eden. And it was so cool to finally kind of have this voice. Because like I said, I've never read any of Dorian's blog posts, though he does, you know, he's written a lot from the perspective of all of his different vampires. But I've just never kind of gone out and read them, which I really should now, and I really want to now, because Eden's voice is so interesting and unique and funny, and I just really like, you know, it really is as though somebody else completely wrote this. It's not like Dorian's writing at all. It is very much Eden's and Eden has a very intriguing story to tell, and I would love to read more of it. I would love to see solo books on just these vampire characters, especially Eden, coming out of this, and hopefully Dorian will write more and continue with that, because I think he is absolutely brilliant. I think he is twisted and gross, and I think that it's something very new and very refreshing. Big thank you to Dorian, and a big suggestion that if you are interested in stuff like this and old enough to read it, because I will say, like, again, it's not rated R, it's rated X. It's very graphic content. So kind of, you know your limits. If it's not for you, that's totally fine. I'm not talking like 50 Shades of Grey up in here. That shit is, well, first of all, just terribly written, and also just nothing compared to some of the grotesque things written here in this book. If you are okay reading about sexual kinks, homoerotic stuff, cannibalism, gore, yeah, there's a lot in there. So I would say reader be warned that the back cover is very astute when it says homoerotic porno gore. That is just, homoerotic porno gore is like the alternate title of this book. But I highly suggest it to anybody who is a fan of Dorian and who watches his channel and enjoys him as a person. It is just, I mean, this is just a look into his mind that I thoroughly enjoyed and will definitely be reading again. I went through it so fast. It was impossible to put down. I loved every story. Yeah, I can't really gush enough about it. So that is the book. I am very happy. Thank you, Dorian, for, self-publishing with Amazon and for finally kind of giving us this physical copy of your work to own and to have and to enjoy. It's really awesome, and I think it's great, and I think you should do more. So I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me kind of gush about this book. I really don't have anything negative to say beyond the fact that it is not for everyone, and that honestly isn't even a negative in my opinion. I think that one of the great things about this book is that it is, Dorian wasn't afraid to hold back. He was fully and unapologetically himself in all the gory details, and I think that's great. I think that it is refreshing and completely uncensored. So if you are interested in something like that and you are not easily offended, this is definitely a great book to check out, and Dorian is a great person to support. Check out the links below. I'm leaving a link to Dorian's Facebook and his YouTube, and to the link to buy this on Amazon if you are interested. Highly recommend. So next video we will be talking about the bee pal that Dorian sent me. It'll be my second perfume haul type thing, and I'm really looking forward to it because this is the first time I've ever had any bee pals perfumes, and because of Dorian I've obviously really been interested in them for a long time because they sound amazing and he makes them sound amazing, so I'm very much looking forward to checking them out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you're having a lovely weekend, and I will see you looking exactly the same because I'm gonna press stop recording and then I'm gonna press record again and start that bee pal haul. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!